You are listening to the Toxic Mold Podcast with Steve Worsley, the toxic mold expert and your number one source for mold consulting and mitigation in the USA. Let's dive into a brand new episode.
Before we get started on this episode, here's a not-so-short disclaimer. While all attempts have been made to verify the content provided in this podcast, neither the podcaster nor the producers assume any responsibility for errors, omissions, or alternative interpretations of the issues discussed here. All information stated in this podcast is the opinion of Steve Worsley. Steve Worsley is a mold specialist with over 25 years of experience in the construction and mold industry. The Toxic Mold Podcast is for information sharing purposes only. The views expressed are those of the podcaster and his alone. These views should not be taken as expert instruction or commands. While there may be references to medical conditions and symptoms, all podcast episodes are the opinion of Steve Worsley, and any medical questions or concerns shall be addressed with the appropriate licensed medical professional or professionals. As the podcaster refers to different mold types, please be aware that Steve Worsley is not a microbiologist, and questions concerning mold specifics should be answered by the appropriate professional. Steve isn't, nor does he offer any legal advice. For any legal advice, you must speak to a lawyer. The listener is 100% responsible for his or her own actions. You can check out Steve's books on Amazon. Just go to Amazon and search for author Steve Worsley. You can also take Steve's mold education courses, such as Mold 101 and the Mycotoxin Prevention Kit, by going to cnccontractorservices.com. Again, check out his mold education courses at cnccontractorservices.com. Now, let's get to the episode.
Hello, you're listening to the Toxic Mold Podcast with myself, Steve Worsley, and we have my wife, Cassandra, and it's the last episode of 2025.
I know, this year just went by so fast.
Yep, and your birthday month's in a few days.
I know, all month long.
Yeah, our listeners aren't going to hear the end of it. So, anyhow, we're going to do what we do every year. Let's set our goals for 2026.
Yeah, IAQ is something that is often forgotten on the landscape of goals, but when your health is compromised because of indoor air quality, you're thinking about goals then.
Yeah, and we usually talk about this every year. Like, most people, their New Year's resolutions are, I'm going to stop drinking, or I'm going to go to the gym. Like, it's funny when we first met and you still say it. Like, going to the gym the first part of the year is crazy.
I never do. I don't. I leave the last week of December and I don't come back till mid-February because all the New Year resolutions people are there and they're gone by the middle of February.
Which brings up something like, why is that?
Because people have trouble with consistency.
Exactly.
Because repetition is boring.
Yeah, exactly. If someone was to ask me, okay, Steve, just tell me a simple thing. I don't have to buy any equipment. What can I do to set my number one goal? It would be routine inspections.
Ah, okay. So when you say routine inspections, do you just mean fall and spring checklist?
No, I mean in routine inspections, like every quarter.
Okay.
Twice a year, I don't think is quite enough.
Okay.
But, for those that think that every quarter is too much, then okay, spring and fall. But routine inspections.
Okay. So checking under the sink, checking by the bathtub.
Yeah. Not hiring a professional,
Okay.
Just going and checking areas around your home.
Looking in the crawl space
Exactly.
in the attic. Okay.
Yep.
And wherever the water heater is.
Exactly. The mechanical room.
Okay.
I mean, doesn't cost you a dime to do.
Okay.
And you brought up the spring and fall checklist. We have checklists. Do we have a checklist for our email opt-in?
It's not yet set up in an email opt-in, but...
Not the spring and fall.
Yes.
But do we have, don't we have a checklist for one of the email opt-ins?
Well, we have the checklist. They're just not, they're not attached to an opt-in.
Well, what are our email opt-ins then?
Mold investigation checklist.
Yeah. So we do have a checklist.
Mold fact sheet.
Okay. That's
and then how to
get
hire a mold.
The proper mold
Yes.
pro. Okay. You would think I would know this because I had to create them, but that's what I was getting at is we do have one checklist.
Yes.
But it's not like a long
No, it's
checklist.
not like the fall and spring checklist that we have.
And when we did the fall checklist, I promised our listeners that I was going to create an email opt-in that was the fall checklist.
And we need to create both, one for fall and spring.
I don't have
enough to do.
Yeah, exactly. what would you think the next goal would be? Knowing what you know about mold, like what would your goal be?
Well, I don't know. My goal would be to check all of my application devices more. My humidity gauge app, which I never really look at, although I do look at my air purifier app because it's the best thing ever. I can turn it on from my phone.
Okay.
Lufty. So I would want to be, my goal would be to look at all of those one day a week, same day, schedule 30 minutes to review the
Yep.
Luft, the humidity gauge app, and the air purifier app.
Okay. And I know for the humidity gauges, you have an alarm that's set. So if it's over, what's your alarm set at? 55%?
Whatever they said to set it at.
What I said or what they
Yes,
said?
whatever,
I
how we
probably
ever
told
said
you
it. Yeah,
60%.
exactly,
Has it
probably.
ever gone off?
Never, not once.
Okay.
And the air purifier ratings are perfect.
Okay. And our Luft is in the hallway.
Oh, so it's in the red quite a bit.
We have an air guard,
Oh,
which
that's
we'll
right.
start talking more about.
Yeah, I have no app for that, so I don't know anything about this.
Yeah, it's when I get a chance, I'll have you download it. The app is called Blink.
I was going to say, because if there's no app, I'm not interested. Everything has to have an app for us today.
And I guess my point is like, I think we live in a day and age that, like, what my goal would be, my next goal would be, beyond routine inspections, humidity gauges.
Okay.
But I think we live in a world where I don't think people would pay attention to it unless it sent them an alert.
That's the thing. I think that's why apps matter so much, because most people are so used to apps in their phone that that's what they need.
Right. And I think even if it's in their phone, if it doesn't alert them, I don't think they're going to pay attention to it.
Correct.
For our listeners, to me, this is an easy goal. It's so easy. Get on Amazon. I'll put a link. We have one on the website.
Yes, we do.
It's
under resources.
Yep, it's under more and then resources. Buy a 3-pack of humidity gauges. You can do it for like, what are they, $20, $25 for the cheaper ones.
And I would say, really invest though. Don't go for the cheaper ones. Go for the ones that come with an app. The Govee, yes, the Govee. And
what did you pay for that?
I think, 50, 60, 70, something. And Govee is not a sponsor, but they should be.
Right. So just for our listeners, go get 3 humidity gauges. Get the Govee. The Govee's, like you said, an app. You can set an alarm.
Yep.
And what we want to see is humidity levels below 60%.
Correct.
So now where you put them is important too.
That's right.
But we want to see, and it's easy for us to say, so I have listeners across the world. For our listeners that are on the East Coast, they're like, well, Steve, or down in Florida, they're like, it's humid here all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But for us, we don't get high humidity. So if there's high humidity in our mechanical room, laundry room, we have one in our bedroom, in our bathroom, we have humidity gauges everywhere. We know there's an issue.
Correct.
But for our listeners that live in humid areas, you want to have the humidity below 60%.
Correct.
Now, if you live in a humid area, how do you achieve that? That's going to be with circulation. That's a totally different episode. But for our listeners, just go get humidity gauges. It's easy.
Absolutely. So you're saying routine inspections, so every other month or so, and then humidity gauges. And then what's the key to, once people have set IAQ goals, actually implementing them?
You already mentioned it, consistency.
Yep.
Like, be consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you're listening, you set your goals last year, you bought humidity gauges. Maybe this year, go buy a moisture meter.
Yeah.
You can literally, on our resources list, we have one listed. It's not the professional, $800 meter. It's, I think, literally, I don't remember even what brand it is, but I think it's like $40.
Mm-hmm.
Buy something like that. You can check the walls when it comes to what the moisture content will be. Depends on what material it is. 15% is a pretty good number, I guess, in my opinion, as long as it's below 15. But consistency. So if you have a humidity gauge in your bathroom and you notice that the humidity's high, take your moisture meter and check the areas adjacent to your tub or shower to see if it's wet.
Absolutely.
And it's not tough.
No. And this is also something that you can get your whole family involved in. Nothing helps with consistency like a 7, a 5, a 10-year-old who'd be like, Mom, Dad, we said we would check for this. We said we would look
Right.
at this. I think if you get the kids involved and you start teaching them early
Yep.
about preventing moisture intrusion and what they can do, their habits in the bathtub, their habits washing their hands, their habits bringing in their boots, and
Exactly.
they will help you be consistent.
Yep. And that's another goal it's free.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to spend a dime. It just takes your time. Sit your family down and say, hey, to your 15-year-old son or daughter that showers for an hour and a half because you have an instant water heater, this is what your showering is going to do over time.
100%.
It's going to cause mold. And when you're cranky or you're tired or irritable, it could be because of the mold you're causing in your own shower. If you have a 5-year-old, talk to them about splashing in the tub. I get it. They're 5.
Mhm.
But that's a great goal.
Yeah.
And it's not hard to do.
No.
And you can incorporate, we talk about this in the spring and fall checklist, a fire escape plan. What do you do if there's a fire?
Correct.
Most people don't think about these things until they're in that situation, and we're creatures of habit. But if you practice it and do it, they're going to know what to do. If you don't, they're going to panic and bad things could happen.
That's very, very true.
So it's not hard. Like, just set 5 goals.
Okay.
And they can all be stuff you don't even have to spend $1 on.
And find a way to put those goals, write them somewhere in front of you so you always see that those are your goals.
Right. Yep. And, we have digital bundles where I think we have sheets, worksheets.
Oh, yeah. Mold 101, I think.
And things like that.
Yes.
So, but like you said, just write it down and keep track of it, and consistency. That's the important
That's the
part.
key. And do things like listen to this podcast on a regular basis, not just one episode, but make sure you're following the podcast, you're subscribed to the podcast, and every week when a new episode drops, you are listening to the new episode as a way to reinforce for yourself that, hey, I have to be concerned about my IAQ goals.
Yep. Because for our listeners, one of my goals for next year for the Toxic Mold podcast and myself, I'm going to get more guests.
Absolutely.
And I don't want you emailing me. Well, you can email info because someone else monitors that most of the time. Don't email me and hold me accountable. But I am going to try to get more guests.
Absolutely.
We've talked about that.
We've got plenty of people we could bring on, and now that's what we're going to do in 2026.
Yeah, I just always say I don't have time.
Yes.
And most of the time I don't.
Exactly.
But I will, for our listeners, that is going to be my goal. I will get you guys at least one guest every quarter, so you don't have to listen only to me.
Absolutely.
So, all right. Well, we appreciate all you listeners. Have a happy new year. Stay safe and have a great week.
Thanks for listening to this episode. If you're concerned about toxic mold and the health of your home, mycotoxin testing could be your next step. Visit CNC Contractor Services to discover how easy it is to test for harmful mycotoxins, compounds released by toxic molds. These comprehensive testing kits can help you identify hidden threats in your air, dust, and surfaces. When you purchase mycotoxin testing from Steve Worsley, you can also opt to get expert testing and interpretation directly from Steve. Take control of your indoor air quality today. Check out mycotoxin testing at cnccontractorservices.com.